In this video, we're going to be joined with Professor Jordan Vaisman, talking about his black belt debut, about his story, and about his journey so far. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Youth of Brazilian Jiu-jitsu podcast, otherwise known as Youth YOBJJ. It's a platform here, a community where we like to educate, empower, and have fun along the process, inviting special guests here, and super pumped for today with Professor Jordan Vaisman. A warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for saying yes and sharing your time with us today.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Isaiah, for the opportunity. And let me talk a little bit about my history, in jiu-jitsu. So I'm really excited.
Been like BJJ heroes as well, a major platform, included you in the biography, which is amazing. So can you talk to us about the thoughts, the feelings, emotions, getting your black belt, as well as making your competition black belt debut?
Yes. So I was like a brown belt for a little over 2 years. And like I was training really, really, really hard. And like I've been always watching the black belt like division, and every time I watch a tournament, I was like, oh my God, I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be there. It was in Gracie Barra Jacarepaguá, where everything started. But unfortunately, because of COVID, I didn't have the opportunity to go there. So we did a belt promotion here. And the funny thing is that it was exactly on the day of my birthday. So yes, when I completed like 23 years old, when I completed 23 years old, I received my black belt. So it's a date that I will never forget. Expect at all, like was my birthday. So I was like, oh my God, like really nice day. And the black belt just came to like, oh my God, this is the best birthday of my life. When I first time, like when I tied the black belt around my waist, I was like, I'm gonna do my best, like I'm really excited and I'm ready for it. I knew that I was ready for it. I have to compete as much as I can. I have to be everywhere, every tournament I have to be there because I need to gain experience, as a black belt and like be competing and build my name. And there was a Charleston Open. And yeah, my division, there was like 4 people. I didn't know much about them. Like first black belt tournament, I was like nervous, but at the same time, really excited, and I was like, I'm going to just do my best, like hope I have a good day and fight well, because that's my main goal is always to fight well, perform well. If I win is a consequence, but like my goal is to perform well and show my jiu-jitsu, show what I've been practicing, and everything worked out great, man. Like my division, there was 4 people, like I said. Unfortunately, the guy on my side of the bracket, he didn't show up, so I ended up going straight to the finals against a really tough opponent, like very experienced already. The triangle, my favorite submission. So oh my God, I was like, I couldn't believe, like I was like, oh my God, my first tournament as a black belt and like winning by submission and by triangle, my favorite submission. I was like, it couldn't be better. What a great day.
Wow, that's amazing. Coming from, I think, one of the biggest accomplishments, achieving your black belt, and then from there making your black belt debut. And like you said, how emotional and how passionate it was going through those moments, and now memories. And it's been incredible. And I think you're a big inspiration. I could see like what you're doing now, Professor. You're like paving the way for other young generation, that want to achieve and want to do more like you, and wars that you've had and what lessons you've been able to learn from them.
Yes. So my first professor in Brazil was Professor Vinicius Coelho. Vinicius Coelho, he was like a dad for me. He is like a dad for me, like he's the guy that believed in me since the beginning. And he always told me that consistency is the key. Like it doesn't matter if you do something really hard today and then you stop doing, and then you do it super hard again and then you stop doing, that won't take you anywhere. The secret is small steps every day. you know. So he always like, Jordan, look, because in the beginning I was so addicted to jiu-jitsu, like I wanted to train so much, so much.
Yeah.
And he was like, Jordan, look, you have to train in a way that you will be consistent. You know, like train in a way that you'll be consistent and you'll take you really, really far. So since always I take this with me, like consistency is the key, you know. And I say that I'm not like a super talented person, you know. I just work really hard and like I'm very consistent. First came to US, I was at the Gracie Barra project in Arizona, which is a great project that they have out there. And I started learning with Professor Flávio Almeida, Cachorrinho. He's a really like successful black belt in Gracie Barra, great person. He taught me so much, you know, about like how to manage things in the school, you know, because over there, like I was teaching a lot of classes, you know, so I was learning so much, you know, like inside and outside the mat, you know, how to handle the parents, how to like run the gym, you know. It was more like the business part. I think doesn't matter what, you know, you have to do the right thing, which is the most important thing. And in Boston, I met Professor Alex Costa. He's a great professor from Gracie Barra as well. And the nicest thing, which I carried this with me since today, that he taught me, it was like about breathing. You know, like a lot of people, they don't care much about breathing, you know, like, but sometimes when you're training super hard, you even forgot about breathing, you know, you forgot about breathing, and then you end up getting tired super fast, you know. Like I end up here in Texas with Professor Draculino. And oh my God, like with him, like Draculino, he's one of the best person I know. You know, he's like a dad too. He's like my second dad here in US, you know. Like in Brazil was Villain, you know, and here Draculino is like a dad for me. He like teaches me so much inside and outside the match too. Says that he's a great leader. You know, he's oh my God, the way that he leads the gym, he leads Gracie Barra here in Texas, you know, it's like different than everything I've ever seen. You know, always wants you to know that you can always count on him, you know, for whatever you need. So he's a great leader. So with him, I learned a lot about like leadership.
I think for those that don't know that and only see the highlights about you, they think, you know, that you're the talent. So I know you're very young, and that's why I can find myself like so relatable to you. So can you like share with us your dream, and where did that stem from, your passion about training jiu-jitsu?
Yes. So everything that I do, I always do it with like try to do my best, you know, with like a pure heart, you know, like just do it, you know, and like just do your best and be consistent. So the thing is that like especially nowadays we have like so many things that we can do, you know, that sometimes we end up going out of the line, you know, like because my line was always like, oh, I want to be a great jiu-jitsu athlete, you know, and then in the future I want to open my own gym and live here in the US. That was my straight line, you know. I set a straight line for me, and I kept following since like I decided that I wanted to live through jiu-jitsu. The generation nowadays, it's a little bit hard because like we have just so many things to do, you know, like the world is so big for us, you know, like that sometimes we end up going out of the line, you know. And if you go out of the line, you're not going to be able to achieve your main goal, you know, to stay focused. So the secret for me is always to make sure your goals are clear in your mind, you know, like the goals are clear in my mind, and I will follow this until I achieve it. And then after I achieve it, I'm going to like set more goals and like keep going on this straight line that I'm talking about, you know. So I think the secret is pretty much, like I said, the consistency and do it like a good heart, you know, not expecting visibility, not expecting money, not expecting all these nice things, you know, like just do it because you love it, you know. And I love it so much. I love it so much. I love to be out there and like be able to test myself and compete, you know. Like the way that I see competition is not like, oh, I want to win, you know. Like the way that I see competition is like, oh my God, it's a great opportunity to learn and know what's good in my game and what I have to work on, you know. I carry the competition as like an X-ray of my game, you know. Like if I go to the tournament and like,
That's
let's
really
say
good.
let's say
Like
that
that a lot.
somebody passed my guard, you know, at the
Yeah.
tournament, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I have to work on my guard, you know. Like you see like an X-ray of our
Yeah.
game, you know. So that's how I carry. So that's why I try to always like tell people, focus on your performance, you know. Like if you win, that's great, you know. You know, but in the tournament you get exposed like to what we have to work on, because jiu-jitsu is like a chess game. Like there's so many different people, you know, like so many different styles, you know.
Yeah, I love that from what you said, and having a good heart and to follow what you're passionate about. I think,
My the challenge that I have to pass through, like,
yeah.
yes. So I always wanted to be like a jiu-jitsu athlete, you know. Like since the beginning I said my life in three ways. So the first way is Jordan athlete, the second way is Jordan professor, you know, and the third way is like Jordan like open up more Gracie Bar High School. So it's almost like a businessman, you know. Like I don't know how you can say it,
Yeah.
but these are the my three main goals, you know. And like I'm on the first phase right now, and I didn't want to like jump the phases, you know, or like fast forward the phases, you know. Like I wanted to like really live it each one as much as I could, as much as I can, you know. So when I came here to US, I ended up like fast forwarding or like jumping the phase from being an athlete to being like a professor, you know, which is not a bad thing, you know, not at all, because I learned so much, you know. But like I wasn't being able to train like an athlete and like to compete as much as I would like, you know. You know, so I could make money, and then I was going to tournaments, and I wasn't doing so great, because I was just like I said, teaching on the phase of teaching a lot, you know, but like I wasn't being an athlete. Like different training partners, you know, and to like train a lot, you know, always looking forward to have an athlete life, you know, trying to find sponsors, you know, and like people that could help, you know. So in the beginning it was really, really hard, you know, to find, and I didn't have not even a place to stay, you know, like I used to have to share rooms with like 5 people, you know, and sometimes sleep at the gym, you know. So it was really hard on the beginning, but I always knew that I have to keep dedicating myself, that in the future everything will work out, you know. Like I have to pass through this phase, otherwise like what I'm living today wouldn't be, I wouldn't give so much like how can I say, like value, you know. Like I'm so thankful that I passed through all those phases, that nowadays like I have, like I can't complain about nothing, you know. I have everything that I need, you know. So the struggle was hard when I was there, like living the struggle. It was really hard, you know. Like a lot of times I was thinking, oh my God, I'm just gonna go back to Brazil, you know, and then I'm gonna find a job over there and like try to do something there in Brazil, even though it's super hard to live through jiu-jitsu, so I would have to like work with something else. But at the same time, like a voice in my mind was like, just keep going, and like just keep training hard, that everything will work out. And then I kept training hard, you know, and like competing, doing my best to compete, and at the same time teach and make money to pay for food, you know. And took me a little bit like to be able to take care of myself, you know, and learn everything, even the language, you know, English. So which was a little bit hard at the beginning. Go for my comfort zone, you know, like I was like, no, I want this to work, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep training. This is what I'm born to do, you know, and like I'm gonna do my best.
You said that it's not really a struggle to you, but more of like a catalyst or like a slingshot, right?
Exactly.
To propel you to that direction to where you are.
Yeah, like if you do that, you really will never know where this will take you, you know, if you stop doing it. So just keep doing, and like I said, do it with like a good heart, you know, with love. Do it because you want to do, you know.
Knowledge and so much experience that you've been sharing with us today, Professor. Again, I want to reach out a huge thank you so much for saying yes to being in today's podcast.
Just hit me up on Instagram, you know, and I'm open for any questions. I always love to help people. So whatever you guys need, just let me know. And thank you so much, Isaiah. You are doing a great job, like inviting people to talk a little bit about them, you know, and like keep doing this, keep doing with pure love, you know, pure heart, and like be consistent, you know, that I'm sure this will take you like super far.
If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below. And we will see you in the next one. Keep smiling, keep training hard. Sohia Etenaduro. Peace.